way too much to cover in one show. Way, way too much to cover. All right. Any questions?
Yes. So someone was wondering if you can do super greens twice a day for long term.
Yes, super greens twice a day is fine. Essential source once a day, I would say. Again, maybe 2 or 3 times a week you can do it twice a day. But super greens you could take, yeah, that's no problem at all. Good call. What else? That's it?
Another question, someone was wondering what you could do right after you wake up to have more energy throughout the day.
Great question. I'm going to talk about that in the next segment. Thank you for bringing that up. Good. So what I'm going to tell you to do is you want to get up. If you're tired when you wake up, your cortisol levels are low. Cortisol is a hormone that's released by your adrenal glands to give you energy. So what you want to do is jumpstart the adrenal glands. So a simple thing you can do is 30, 50, 100 cross crawls. If you have stairs in your house, go up and down the stairs. Okay, my master bedroom's on my main floor. I like to shower upstairs, and one of the reasons is I like to just get that exercise. So go up and down the stairs a few times. But you got to jumpstart your adrenals to get the cortisol released. So cross crawl is great. Walking up and down stairs is great. Squats is great. But you got to do something to get the cortisol levels up. So that's what I would suggest. If you're tired in the morning, chances are you have low cortisol. And we got to fix that. And then you need adrenal support, long-term fixing. So, and the supplements we talked about. What else?
That's all.
Okay, good. So much to cover. Okay. All right, folks, we're going to do another 24-minute segment. If you have any questions, write them, type them in on your platform, and then my producer, Allison, will then read me the questions at the end of 24 minutes. So, ready? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you stayed with us, welcome back. We're talking about ways to get energy without caffeine. And this is really important that you understand this because coffee long-term can be very detrimental. It has some benefits. The negatives far outweigh the positives. If you're going to drink coffee, I recommend organic only. Never drink non-organic coffee because the pesticides and the chemicals and the fungicides that are sprayed on the coffees, not a good thing to put in your body. So we cover a lot. We covered a lot in the first half of the show. Many times, if you're tired all the time, you're just not digesting your food properly. And so if you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, that's usually a sign, it is a sign you're not digesting your food properly. And many times that's due to the stomach pushing up into the diaphragm. So the stomach pushes up into the diaphragm. The food is not being digested. It's being passed into the small intestine, partially digested, where essentially it rots. So you're not absorbing the nutrients that you need for energy, and you're using up energy to try to break down this rotten food. And in many, many cases, most cases, the fix is easy. We need to take the stomach and physically pull it down away from the diaphragm. We can actually adjust the stomach and pull it down away from the diaphragm. Then the stomach is oftentimes able to start digesting food again. Now, I have this condition, and my stomach acts up. In fact, just yesterday, I got mine adjusted. I grabbed Dr. Irwin, one of my amazing doctors, and I said, hey, check my stomach. He did. Sure enough, stomach was up against diaphragm. He pulled it down, and within minutes, I started to feel less bloated. My voice was clearer. And many times if people have bad breath, it's because the stomach is up against the diaphragm. So it's a real simple, easy fix. If you have that condition, I don't know where else to go except our office to get it fixed. I don't know of any other doctors that do this technique. I'm sure they do. I just don't know of them. So if you want to make an appointment for that, drjoe.com. But fix that stomach because it's way more than just burping. It's way more than gas. It's affecting brain function. It's affecting energy levels. It's affecting digestion. That's a serious warning sign if you have digestive issues, and we're really good at working with digestive patients. Another thing that can affect you not sleeping well is if you drink too much water, you got to get up and pee. Now, after a certain age, it gets worse. 40 usually is when it gets worse. So if you have to get up and pee a lot, what I do, so I'm way over 40, I drink a lot of my fluids in the morning up till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If I drink past that, I got to get up and pee a lot. And so that's a simple way to avoid that. And then we talked about digestion. You got to get that digestive system fixed because I don't care how much caffeine you do. I don't care how much stimulants, legal or illegal. I don't care how many cross crawls you do. If the digestive system isn't working, you're not going to get 100% of the benefits that you want. So drjoe.com, make an appointment to see us. Big thing that happens with energy is you wake up in the morning, you just can't get out of bed. How many people are not morning people, have trouble getting out of bed? Raise your hands. Yeah, I know you do, because I see you as patients. If you have trouble getting out of bed, the chances are pretty high you have low cortisol. Now, cortisol is a hormone. It's produced by your adrenal glands, and it can be converted into cortisone, but that's a whole nother lecture. And cortisol in the morning should spike, and that's the thing that wakes you up in the morning. So cortisol spikes, you get that rush of energy, and you're happening in the morning, and then as the day goes on, a normal cortisol graph would be the cortisol starts to drop, and then you get tired, you go to bed. That's normal. Some people are so stressed out that the cortisol level is high throughout the day, and we can do tests for this in our office, and the cortisol level is just high throughout the day. That's dangerous because you're running wide open. You're going to burn yourself out. And so what happens is normally with patients like that is they go from high cortisol to low cortisol because the adrenal glands just shut down. Don't truly shut down, but they weaken. And so now you have adrenal gland fatigue. So if you can't get going in the morning, it could be that you just don't have enough cortisol. So the supplements we talked about earlier, one of them was adrenal support, and it's on our website, drjoe.com. I suggest everybody over 30 or 40 take adrenal support every day. I do. Nitric oxide is great because it opens up the blood vessels and increases circulation to your body. The minimum supplements everybody should be taking would be Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. If you're not taking them, I can't understand for the life of me why. We keep the prices very affordable. Products even half as good as this are 2 and 3 times the cost in the open market. I take a scoop of each. They're powders. I shake it up with coconut milk or almond milk. I like Super Greens Mint. That's my favorite. There's also hemp, which is my second favorite, and then plain. Plain is our #1 seller. It's not my favorite, though. Okay, so other people, obviously, it is their favorite. So anyway, Super Green Essential Source, nitric oxide, B-complex, that'd be great. But a trick you can do to try to naturally raise your cortisol levels is do some light activity first thing in the morning. So when you get out of bed in the morning, do some squats. Do cross crawl. We talked about that in the other segment of the show. Do a cross crawl for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute. Go up and down stairs. Just go up and down stairs for a minute or 2 in the morning. Just do some light exercise to kind of jumpstart the adrenals. And you'll be amazed how much better and easier your morning goes. Because my goal here is to get you off the stimulants, and specifically here, coffee. So the way to kick the habit of coffee, and then I'll explain to you how coffee affects the brain. I wrote this in my first book, Eating Right for the Health of It. And it's a real simple process. If you're serious about wanting to kick your habit, this is how you do it. Take a cup of black coffee, put it in front of you. Every hour, take 1 tablespoon. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Dr. Joe, that's insane. I can't just do 1 tablespoon of coffee. Yeah, for this experiment, you can. Okay, for this therapy, I should say. And do 1 an hour. You're giving your brain just enough caffeine to kick in again, but not enough to do the damage. The longest it's ever taken me to get somebody off coffee who seriously wants to get off coffee was 4 days. And that's extreme. Usually it's a day or 2 and people are done. So what happens is with coffee is this, or caffeine. You have a chemical in your brain, and it's called adenosine. And adenosine is released, and it gets absorbed by something called an adenosine receptor site. So it's released and gets absorbed in part of the brain. And then when the adenosine is absorbed, you start to get tired. And so that's a normal process. When you drink coffee, or any caffeine, caffeine looks like adenosine. So what happens is it blocks up your adenosine receptor sites in your brain so you don't absorb as much adenosine. And one of the mechanisms of caffeine is it prevents you from getting tired. It gives you energy by stimulating what's called the peripheral nervous system, but it actually tricks the brain into thinking that it doesn't need to get tired because you're not absorbing adenosine. So your body is smarter than you. So your body says, wait a minute, I need to sleep. So I'm going to start producing more adenosine receptor sites so that I can absorb the adenosine, I can get tired. So what happens is you start getting tired. So what do? You, in your infinite wisdom, says, I need more coffee. And so you drink more coffee, blocking up more adenosine receptor sites, so the brain then makes more adenosine receptor sites. And so eventually, this battle just goes on and on. So when you come off coffee, if you just go cold turkey, many times you might have fatigue or headaches or mood swings. It's because the adenosine receptor sites aren't getting what they need. And so if you take just 1 tablespoon of coffee every hour, what happens is you just absorb, the body's able to heal and close up a lot of those extra adenosine receptor sites. Gives you enough to kind of jumpstart you, but it also gives the body a chance to heal. So you physically change your brain when you do caffeine. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to heal those cuts, put scabs over them and heal them up. That's a metaphor. It's not really how it happens. So that's going to be a great way to kick the habit. So when you are tired, do the cross crawl, drink a lot of water, take the super greens, the essential source, the nitric oxide, the B complex, and the adrenal support, and let's get the body to heal. When you do that, you start to get your energy back. Now, it may not happen day 1. It may happen day 3 or day 4 or day 5. But you got to get the body jump-started again. And the caffeine is very dependent. Also, coffee is a very strong acid. And when you put acid foods in your body, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener, the body has to neutralize those acids. And the body uses calcium as its primary neutralizing agent. So your body is giving up calcium to neutralize the acids. So what does that look like? Well, where do you store calcium? In your bones. So now the bones are giving up calcium to try to neutralize the acids, and so long term it can have an adverse effect on your bone health, your calcium balance in your body. It's not good. So I really want you to consider getting energy without the artificial stimulants. Aromatherapy can work. Eucalyptus, lemon, and peppermint. Just get some aromatherapy. Get some pure essential oils. Don't get made with essential oils. Don't get contains essential oils. Those are all chemicals with a little bit of, maybe a little bit of essential oil, maybe not. Get a pure essential oil, and when you need a kick in, eucalyptus, lemon, or peppermint, take a couple of sniffs, and that'll give you some energy as well. You can carry that with you if you want. Leave it at your desk, put it in your purse, put it in your pocket, leave it in your car. That'll just give you a little burst of energy as well. Neat little trick. When you're eating, carbohydrates break down pretty quickly. So if you're eating carbohydrates, you may get a rush of energy and then a crash because they're sugars. So you want to try doing things that take longer to digest, and those would be fats and proteins. So what would be a healthy fat? Well, how about some nuts? How about some avocados? How about some olives? Olives have salt in them, so not the best choice. How about some seeds, some tofu, some tempeh? These are great snacks because it takes a while to digest, and it gives you that sustained energy. If you crave sugar, how many people crave sugar? I know you do, because I talk to you people all the time. There's a supplement that you can take called Gymnema. Now, what Gymnema does is it stabilizes your blood sugar throughout the day so you don't get highs and lows and you don't get those cravings. So Gymnema is great. I use a company called Standard Process, and I use their brand because I don't have a Dr. Joe brand Gymnema. And if you can't access Standard Process as the public, you have to go through a healthcare provider. So if you go to my website, drjoe.com, under store, you'll see a link that says Standard Process. That gets you in the back door to their website. It's okay. It's legitimate, using my name. So I'm kind of like referring you. But Gymnema, Gymnema, amazing. And here's a little trick you can do. I love this trick. When you start having crazy sugar cravings, ever get them? I do. And you just can't stop yourself. I got to have that donut. I got to have that coffee. I got to have that sweet coffee. I got to have that candy. Take a Gymnema tablet and chew it. Now, it doesn't taste good, but that's not why I want you to do it. Then try eating something sweet. It has no flavor. Gymnema, through some chemical reaction that I don't know how, numbs your taste buds, especially your sweet taste buds, so you don't taste anything. So now you're retraining the brain. Your brain is saying, that donut used to taste good, but now it doesn't. So I don't even want that donut anymore. And so that's a neat little trick to help get you off your sugar cravings. You can take Gymnema every day to stabilize the blood sugar so you have energy throughout the day. But by chewing one in an emergency situation, it's amazing. I love it. I've done it in lectures. And it works every time. It's really cool. So that'll help get you off the sugar, and then you can make better choices. Just recently, I did a 4-week weight loss program with folks online, and I coached them through it. And by the second week, everybody had the same results, myself included. I did it too. And what happened was the people said, Dr. Joe, I don't crave sugar anymore. I don't crave caffeine anymore. I don't crave whatever it was that they were craving, bagels. And everybody across the board said the same word, empowered. They all felt empowered. They took control of their own lives. Because food is an evil mistress. She will lead you down the wrong path in many cases. And so they had empowerment to say, I don't do that anymore. One lady works at a church, and she said everybody brings in junk and leftover food, and they bring in cookies and cakes because they think they're being nice when actually they're being cruel to the people. And she said, I don't have to do that anymore. I'm able to just say thank you, but no thank you. And she said, for the first time in my life, I can look at it. One of the ladies was saying she works in food services, and they were making brownies. And they said, aren't you going to taste it? And she goes, I really don't want to taste it. I know the recipe works, so I'm not going to taste it. And she said, I've never not tasted it. I always tasted whatever I was cooking. She said, that's empowerment. So you need to get control of your life, not just to get more energy without caffeine, because I want you to take control of your own health. So my prescription to you for this is follow my advice. Drink the water, take the supplements, do the cross crawl, and watch what happens. And now you have control of your life for the first time ever. So success stories, and one thing great about what I do for a living is there's almost all day, every day success stories. It's for patients that come see us. It's for people that listen to our podcasts and our radio shows, people that watch our TV shows, people that read my books, people that take the supplements. So we get bombarded with success stories every day. And it's really exciting. And I love that. And that's why 38 years I'm still going strong, because I'm still excited when you tell me I got these results. So it's really kind of cool. So I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, if you're just tuning in. We're talking today about how to increase your energy levels without caffeine. And I'm giving you a ton of different options. You don't have to do them all. Do some of them and watch what happens. They all work. You just got to get into it and watch what happens there. And taking a break from your screens, because we all stare at screens all day, is really empowering, but also good for the brain too. So that's why I said earlier, set your clock every hour, and when the alarm goes off, stand up and do 30 seconds of cross crawl. If you don't know what cross crawl is, you can just Google cross crawl, and it's bringing your right elbow to your left knee and your left elbow to your right knee. It's marching in place, essentially. And it integrates the brain, and it works so well. It's free. And it also gives you time away from the screen, gives your eyes a rest. So there's no downside to doing this. You could actually, if you're drinking a lot of water, like I said, you can march yourself to the bathroom. Whoever you work with will think you're crazy, but you can march yourself to the bathroom if you want to. And watch what happens. And here's what happens. I love this because I do so many coaching classes online. Oh, by the way, if you follow us on social media, you'll learn all about my coaching classes. And it's at Dr. Joe Esposito. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. So follow us at Dr. Joe Esposito, and you're going to get a lot of good information. And also when we do these coaching classes, like we just did this pop-up 4-week weight loss program. And it was a lot of fun, and we talked about empowerment. And that's what happened. These people had empowerment, and they were able to work better, had more energy, slept better, love life improved. One lady said, I've been married 45 years, and we're like kids again. So all sorts of neat things happen when you take control of your health. And that's my goal, is give you the power, the tools that you need to take care of your health. So follow us on social media at Dr. Joe Esposito, and you'll learn about these things. We have another big one, intense one, 8 weeks coming up in February. I think we're going to do it again. I'm not sure. I think it's February. But there are certain things you can't do. If you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, digestive issues, heartburn, acid reflux, sciatica, mood swings even, you need to come see us for that, because there are certain things that I can't teach you, like adjusting the spine, adjusting the stomach. Many times you need physical work. You need to physically tune up the body, and it's just like a car. If you tune it up, it runs better, it lasts longer, and that's what I want to be. We want to be your body mechanics. We want to be your body mechanics to get everything lined up. And every single day, patients come in. Dr. Joe, I had sciatica for years. I had 3 injections. The doctor couldn't do anymore. I tried this. I tried that. They came here and we put the bones back in place. And in many cases, not always, sometimes you need drugs, sometimes you need injections, sometimes you need surgery. In many cases, getting the spine lined up is the missing link to your healthcare. Pain, but also function. So if you want to make an appointment, normally the first visit is $912. For my listeners, we've reduced that to $299. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays, complete nutrition evaluation. The x-rays alone are going to cost you way more than that anywhere else. We want to make it so that you can come in, get well, and stay well. And if you have insurance questions, you can send it to my staff. We accept everybody with all insurances. Now, it depends what your coverage is, but we accept you. We have cash plans available. We have payment plans available. No interest for up to 18 months. It's very, very affordable to be patients with us. drjoe.com, drjoe.com. If you have any questions, send them to me through the website, drjoe.com. I'm happy to answer any healthcare questions for you. So we're talking today about energy without caffeine. Power naps. I was never a fan of power naps until I was. And boy, when I get an opportunity to get a little 5-10 minute nap in, I just love it. And what's happened is I don't even set an alarm anymore. I know that if I'm napping in the middle of the day, it's only going to be a 5 or 10 minute nap. So it's pretty powerful stuff. So if you can get power naps in as well. And then chewing gum. Just the act of chewing gum increases your alertness, helps you react faster, and improves your attention and boosts your productivity, whether it's work or home or love life or being a parent or going to church. Now, most gums out there today have artificial sweetener in them. Of the 7 deadly sins, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener is the worst one. So I want you to avoid artificial sweetener at all costs. Some of them still have sugar. Of the two, sugar is way safer than the artificial sweetener. There are gums out there that are sweetened with things like xylitol or stevia. Can't think of the name right now of it. But anyway, those would be better choices. Now, what happens with them is the flavor doesn't last very long. So just so you know, the flavor isn't going to last very long. That's okay. This is an investment in your health. It's way cheaper than a cup of coffee. You can buy packs and packs of gum for what you'd pay for 1 cup of coffee. So you could just chew it when the flavor runs out, keep chewing it, or spit it out and get another one. But gum sweetened with xylitol, stevia, those are much better choices. So chewing gum can actually give you energy. Cross-crawl give you energy. So let's recap real quick. Eat more raw foods. Supplements would be B-complex, nitric oxide, adrenal support, super greens, and essential source. Those are all on the website, drjoe.com. Get outside. Go for walks. Get some fresh air. Get out of the building. It's really important. We talked about the cross-crawl. Doing a cross-crawl 15 seconds, 30 seconds every hour will change your life within days, probably the first day, actually. That's how quickly you're going to see the changes. We talked about digestion. Try to eat lighter foods. Give yourself 3 hours before, 3 hours of your last meal before you go to bed at least, preferably longer than that. If you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, you're not absorbing your nutrients. So you come see us, and many times we have to adjust the stomach and pull it down away from the diaphragm. So digestion is very exhausting to the body. If you're not a morning person, you wake up and you just can't get out of bed, chances are your adrenal glands are pooped out. They're just not producing enough cortisol. So do some cross-crawl. Go up and down the stairs 2 or 3 times. You don't have to do a half-hour aerobic workout. Just get the body in motion. It kind of jump-starts the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands start producing cortisol. Cortisol gives you energy. Too much cortisol is bad, but you definitely want to spike in the morning. And that's why these little exercise things are great. We talked about kicking the caffeine habit. Take 1 tablespoon of coffee every hour. 1 tablespoon an hour is going to reset the brain. I won't go into the whole details on that. We talked about supplement Gymnema to stabilize your blood sugar, and if you have sugar cravings. And you can get that on, go to our website where it says store, and underneath it, it says standard process. It'll take you to the standard process website. Now, you have my permission to go there because you're going through my account. And you can get Gymnema, which is just amazing for stabilizing blood sugar. And then something as simple as chewing gum. But if you have pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, pain is exhausting. And so one of the big kicks, drink a lot of water too. But one of the big things I can teach you is let's get you out of pain. And my team of doctors are really good at pain management, without drugs, without surgery. So if you have pain, go to our website, drjoe.com. Book an appointment right now. We have offices in the Atlanta area, Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We'd love to see you. We can get you in usually the same day or the next day if it's an emergency or whatever works for you. I can't imagine. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for chiropractic care. You and I would have never met. I was in a severe car accident when I was 10, traumatic brain injury. I have 2 fractures in my spine. I would not be here talking to you right now. I need chiropractic care to maintain my health, and you probably do too. So drjoe.com, we'd love to see you. Normally the first visit is $912. We've reduced that to $299 for my listeners, which is like off the chart amazing. You're not going to find that anywhere else for the quality and the quantity of care you get with us. That's the first visit and half of the second visit. If you have any questions, go to the website, drjoe.com. Send me your healthcare questions. Please follow us on social media. We post multiple times a day. You're going to get so much health information. And it's free. drjoe.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you're a podcast junkie, just go to your podcast service and type in Dr. Joe for the health of it. Dr. Joe for the health of it. And we do at least 2 podcasts a week or more. And, of course, your podcast service is no charge. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, drjoe.com. We'll catch you next time. All right. What you got?
So someone asked if they could take Super Greens and Essential Source along with My Juice Plus vitamins.
Yes. I used to be the national spokesperson for Juice Plus. It's a good product. When you look at the two and the price, I think you're going to be blown away with ours compared to theirs. I like Juice Plus. I have nothing bad to say about them, but look at the price, look at what you're getting. I think you're going to be very happy with Essential Source and Super. I know you'll be happy with Super Greens and Essential Source. But yes, you can take them together. What else?
So the last question I have is, what do you recommend for IT band pain?
IT band pain's along the side of your leg, okay? It's usually, it's called the iliotibial band. And what that is the hips are rotated. When the hips rotate, it pulls on the IT band. Now, you can overstrain them if you work out or something like that, but you need to get the hips put back in place in almost every case I've ever seen, and I've seen thousands of cases. So you might want to come see us and get those hips balanced, because if you're working out, you're building up strong muscles around crooked bones. I want you to build up strong muscles around straight bones. And that's why it's coming to see us to analyze that is really important, because the IT band controls a lot of bowel function. There's acupuncture points there for bowel. You don't want to jerk around with that. You want to get that fixed. drjoe.com. Any other questions? All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Again, follow us on all platforms at Dr. Joe Esposito. And I will see you next time.